Something massive is happening in the world of compact cameras, and it is going to change the way you film your content forever. DJI has officially confirmed that the highly anticipated Pocket 4 Pro is a reality. The leaks and early hardware details surfacing right now prove that this is not just another standard lazy update. DJI is aiming to solve the biggest complaints that content creators have harbored for years. At the exact same time, they are preparing to fight off a massive new threat from their biggest rival, Insta360. Every single detail about the pricing, the release schedule, and the internal hardware has finally been locked into place. This camera is built from the ground up to completely rewrite the rules for solo filmmakers. To truly understand why this new camera is such a massive deal, you first have to look at the painful limitations of the past. Every single pocket camera that came before this model shared one major flaw that drove creators crazy. They all relied on a single, fixed wide-angle lens. The primary sensor was always high quality and the stabilization was incredibly smooth, but you were completely stuck with one field of view. The very moment you wanted a tighter shot, your options disappeared. If you wanted a beautiful portrait shot with compressed background blur, you had to make a sacrifice. If you wanted clean cinematic details from a distance, you were out of luck. Your only real choice with previous models was to pinch the screen and crop into the image digitally. Every single creator knows that digital zoom is just a fancy word for destroying your image quality. It ruins your resolution and makes your footage look incredibly grainy, especially when the lighting starts to drop. It was always a frustrating workaround that never felt like a professional solution. It forced creators to choose between carrying a massive second camera or simply missing out on beautiful, tight cinematic shots. The Pocket 4 Pro finally removes that creative ceiling once and for all. DJI is fixing this problem by introducing a revolutionary dual camera system into their smallest gimbal setup. The camera will feature two distinct lenses sitting right on top of each other. The primary camera keeps the highly praised 1-inch sensor that made previous models famous for wide-angle shots. Directly above that main sensor sits a brand new dedicated 3x optical telephoto lens. This means you are getting true physical zoom using high-quality glass elements instead of a cheap software trick. For travel filmmakers, street videographers, and solo vloggers, this single upgrade changes absolutely everything. You can now switch from an ultra-wide landscape shot to a tight cinematic close-up instantly without losing a single pixel of detail. This massive hardware shift is not happening in a vacuum, because DJI is facing intense pressure from the competition. At recent industry trade shows, Insta360 gave the world a sneak peek at their own upcoming powerhouse, the Luna Ultra. This competing camera is a dual-lens gimbal system built in direct partnership with Leica. Early industry reports suggest that this rival camera could feature an optical zoom range that stretches up to 4 or even 6 times magnification. On paper, that sounds like it could completely overshadow the 3x zoom found on the new DJI camera. However, anyone who actually makes videos for a living knows that raw numbers on a spec sheet do not decide which camera wins in the real world. For solo shooters, the daily experience of using a tool matters far more than having the longest zoom lens. When you are filming entirely by yourself, your biggest struggles are framing your shots remotely, keeping your autofocus locked, and checking your composition from a distance. You cannot waste time running back and forth to a camera that is mounted on a tripod across the street. This exact operational headache is where DJI has focused its secret weapon, introducing a feature that absolutely nobody saw coming. The real magic of this launch revolves around an incredibly clever piece of leaked hardware. Early leaks from industry insiders initially showed what looked like a standard, boring wireless remote control being tested with the camera. However, deeper analysis revealed that this accessory is actually a detachable, magnetic touchscreen display module. This innovative screen is being borrowed directly from DJI's upcoming Osmo Mobile 8 Pro smartphone gimbal. DJI is smartly designing their new ecosystem so that this single touchscreen device acts as a universal control hub across multiple different products. This small magnetic screen can snap right off your smartphone gimbal and instantly connect to your Pocket 4 Pro completely wirelessly. You do not need to connect your actual smartphone to the camera, which keeps your phone free for taking calls or checking scripts. From this compact wireless display, you can view a perfectly smooth live feed of what your camera sees. You can adjust all your exposure settings, change your frame rates, and control the physical movement of the gimbal from dozens of feet away. The most important feature for solo creators is the ability to draw tracking boxes directly onto this wireless screen. If you are standing far away from the camera, you can simply draw a box around yourself on the remote display, and the camera will instantly lock onto you. You no longer have to guess if the face tracking is working properly while you stand in front of the lens. You just look at the screen in your hand, confirm your shot is framed perfectly, and start recording. For YouTubers who film alone, this is a massive leap forward in daily efficiency rather than just a gimmick to sell more units. When it comes to the financial side of things, leaks from manufacturing chains indicate that the Pocket 4 Pro will be positioned as a premium tool. The base camera is expected to launch with a global price tag sitting somewhere between $700 and $730. There will also be a more expensive combo package available that bundles the camera together with the wireless touchscreen module. DJI is planning to officially launch this device around May of 2026. This specific timeline is chosen to directly counter the market arrival of the Insta360 Luna Ultra. The only major dark cloud hanging over this highly anticipated release involves regulatory approval in specific regions. DJI has recently faced intense scrutiny and paperwork delays with regulatory bodies like the FCC in the United States.